The water cycle, also known as the hydrological cycle, is a continuous process that circulates water between the Earth's surface and the atmosphere. This cycle is crucial for maintaining life on our planet as it ensures the availability of water for various organisms and ecosystems. Let's delve into the intricate details of this fascinating natural phenomenon. The water cycle begins with evaporation, where water from oceans, rivers, and other bodies of water is heated by the sun and transformed into water vapor. This water vapor rises into the atmosphere, forming clouds through a process called condensation. As the clouds become saturated with water vapor, precipitation occurs in the form of rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Once the precipitation reaches the Earth's surface, it can follow several pathways. Some of the water may flow over the land surface as runoff, eventually reaching rivers, lakes, and oceans. Another portion of the water infiltrates the soil and becomes groundwater, which can be stored in aquifers or contribute to the flow of rivers and streams. Transpiration, the process by which plants release water vapor through their leaves, also plays a significant role in the water cycle. This water vapor re-enters the atmosphere, where it can once again participate in the cycle of evaporation and condensation. Interestingly, the water cycle is not confined to the Earth's surface and atmosphere. Water can also be stored in ice caps and glaciers, where it remains frozen for extended periods before melting and re-entering the cycle. This frozen water acts as a crucial reservoir that regulates global sea levels and freshwater availability. The water cycle is a dynamic and interconnected process that influences various aspects of our environment, including weather patterns, climate, and the distribution of water resources. Understanding the mechanisms of the water cycle is essential for managing water supplies, mitigating the impacts of droughts and floods, and preserving the health of ecosystems. In conclusion, the water cycle is a fundamental process that sustains life on Earth by ensuring the continuous circulation of water. By appreciating the complexities of this cycle, we can better appreciate the interconnectedness of all living organisms and the environment. The carbon cycle is a fundamental process that regulates the flow of carbon through the Earth's atmosphere, oceans, soil, and living organisms. Carbon, in various forms, is constantly exchanged between these reservoirs through a series of interconnected pathways. Understanding the carbon cycle is essential for comprehending the dynamics of climate change, ecosystem functioning, and human impacts on the environment. Let's explore the intricate details and fascinating facts about the carbon cycle. Carbon exists in different forms, including carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, dissolved carbon in the oceans, organic carbon in living organisms, and inorganic carbon in rocks and minerals. The carbon cycle begins with carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which is absorbed by plants during photosynthesis. Through this process, plants convert carbon dioxide into organic compounds, such as sugars and carbohydrates, which are used as energy sources. This organic carbon is then passed along the food chain as animals consume plants or other animals. When organisms respire, they release carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere, completing the cycle. Another pathway in the carbon cycle involves the decomposition of organic matter by bacteria and fungi. During decomposition, carbon is released as carbon dioxide or methane, contributing to greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere. The oceans play a crucial role in the carbon cycle by absorbing and storing large amounts of carbon dioxide. Marine organisms, such as phytoplankton, also participate in the cycle by photosynthesizing and sequestering carbon in their tissues. Over geological timescales, carbon can be stored in sedimentary rocks through processes like fossilization and mineralization. These rocks act as long-term reservoirs for carbon, locking it away from the atmosphere. Human activities, such as the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation, have significantly altered the carbon cycle. The combustion of fossil fuels releases large quantities of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, leading to increased concentrations of greenhouse gases and global warming. Deforestation reduces the capacity of forests to sequester carbon, further exacerbating climate change. Carbon cycling in terrestrial ecosystems is influenced by factors such as land use changes, soil degradation, and wildfire frequency. These disturbances can disrupt the balance of carbon fluxes between the atmosphere, plants, and soil, affecting ecosystem productivity and carbon storage. The carbon cycle is intricately linked to the Earth's climate system, as carbon dioxide is a major greenhouse gas that regulates the planet's temperature. Changes in carbon cycling processes can have profound impacts on climate patterns, sea levels, and biodiversity. Scientists study the carbon cycle using a combination of field measurements, remote sensing, and computer models to track carbon fluxes and predict future trends. Understanding how carbon moves through the environment is crucial for developing strategies to mitigate climate change and preserve the health of ecosystems. The carbon cycle is a dynamic and complex system that underscores the interconnectedness of all living organisms and the environment. By unraveling its mysteries, we gain valuable insights into the forces shaping our planet and the challenges we face in safeguarding its future. The nitrogen cycle is a vital biogeochemical process that facilitates the conversion and circulation of nitrogen in various forms within the Earth's ecosystems. Nitrogen is an essential element for all living organisms, playing a crucial role in the structure of proteins, DNA, and other biomolecules. Let's delve into the intricate details and fascinating facts about the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen gas, N2, makes up about 78% of the Earth's atmosphere, but most organisms cannot directly utilize this form of nitrogen. The nitrogen cycle involves several key processes that transform atmospheric nitrogen into forms that can be used by plants and other organisms. The first step in the nitrogen cycle is nitrogen fixation, where specialized bacteria called nitrogen-fixing bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, NH3, or nitrate, NO3. Some plants, such as legumes, have a symbiotic relationship with nitrogen-fixing bacteria, allowing them to access nitrogen directly from the air. Ammonia can also be produced through industrial processes like the Haber-Bosch process, which is used to manufacture fertilizers. Once ammonia is available, it can be taken up by plants and incorporated into organic compounds through a process called assimilation. Animals obtain nitrogen by consuming plants or other animals, thereby transferring nitrogen through the food chain. When organisms die or produce waste, nitrogen is released back into the environment through decomposition. Decomposers like bacteria and fungi break down organic matter, releasing ammonia back into the soil. Ammonia can then be further converted into nitrate through nitrification, a process carried out by nitrifying bacteria. Nitrate is a form of nitrogen that plants can readily absorb and use to build proteins and nucleic acids. Denitrification is another crucial process in the nitrogen cycle, where specialized bacteria convert nitrate back into nitrogen gas, completing the cycle. This process returns nitrogen to the atmosphere, closing the loop and maintaining the balance of nitrogen in the environment. Human activities, such as the use of synthetic fertilizers and the burning of fossil fuels, have significantly altered the nitrogen cycle. Excessive application of nitrogen fertilizers can lead to nutrient runoff into water bodies, causing eutrophication and harmful algal blooms. The combustion of fossil fuels releases nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere, contributing to air pollution and acid rain. These human-induced changes to the nitrogen cycle have far-reaching impacts on ecosystems, water quality, and human health. Understanding the nitrogen cycle is essential for sustainable agriculture, ecosystem management, and environmental conservation. By studying the processes that govern nitrogen dynamics, scientists can develop strategies to minimize nitrogen pollution and optimize nitrogen use efficiency. The nitrogen cycle exemplifies the intricate interconnectedness of living organisms and their environment, highlighting the delicate balance required to sustain life on Earth. Interactions between the water, carbon, and nitrogen cycles are intricate and interconnected, shaping the dynamics of ecosystems and the Earth's environment. One key interaction occurs between the water cycle and the carbon cycle through the process of photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and water from the soil to produce glucose and oxygen. This exchange of gases and water molecules links the two cycles, demonstrating how the availability of water influences carbon sequestration and plant growth. Additionally, the nitrogen cycle interacts with the carbon cycle through nitrogen fixation, a process essential for plant growth and carbon storage. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, which can be used by plants to build proteins and other organic compounds. By facilitating the assimilation of nitrogen, these bacteria indirectly support the carbon cycle by enhancing plant productivity and carbon sequestration. Another important interaction occurs between the nitrogen cycle and the water cycle in aquatic ecosystems. Excessive nitrogen runoff from agricultural fields or urban areas can lead to eutrophication in water bodies, causing algal blooms and oxygen depletion. This disruption in nutrient cycling not only affects water quality, but also influences carbon dynamics as decomposing algae release carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. Human activities, such as deforestation and land use changes, can further intensify the interactions between these cycles. Deforestation disrupts the water cycle by reducing transpiration and altering precipitation patterns, which in turn affects carbon sequestration in forests. Changes in land use can also impact the nitrogen cycle by altering soil nitrogen levels and microbial communities, leading to nitrogen losses or accumulation in the environment. Understanding these complex interactions between the water, carbon, and nitrogen cycles is crucial for sustainable ecosystem management and climate change mitigation. By recognizing the interdependencies of these cycles, we can develop holistic approaches to address environmental challenges and promote the resilience of natural systems. Human activities have significantly impacted nutrient cycles, leading to disruptions in ecosystems and environmental degradation. One of the most notable impacts is the alteration of the carbon cycle through the burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and land use changes. The combustion of fossil fuels releases large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming and climate change. Deforestation reduces the capacity of forests to sequester carbon, further exacerbating the imbalance in the carbon cycle. Additionally, land use changes, such as urbanization and agriculture expansion, can disrupt carbon storage in soils and vegetation, affecting the overall carbon balance. Human-induced changes to the nitrogen cycle are also prevalent, particularly through the excessive use of nitrogen-based fertilizers in agriculture. Nitrogen runoff from fields can lead to water pollution, eutrophication of water bodies, and harmful algal blooms. These disruptions not only impact water quality but also contribute to greenhouse gas emissions as decomposing algae release carbon dioxide. Furthermore, the nitrogen cycle is influenced by industrial activities, such as the production of nitrogen-based compounds for various applications. These activities can lead to nitrogen deposition in ecosystems, altering nutrient availability and biodiversity. Overall, human impacts on nutrient cycles highlight the need for sustainable practices and environmental stewardship to mitigate the negative consequences of our actions on the planet's biogeochemical processes. Nutrient cycles play a crucial role in maintaining the balance and sustainability of ecosystems. These cycles ensure that essential elements, such as carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus, are recycled and made available to living organisms. One key importance of nutrient cycles is their role in supporting plant growth and productivity. Plants require nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus to build proteins, DNA, and other vital molecules. Without efficient nutrient cycling, ecosystems would struggle to support diverse plant communities and the animals that depend on them. Nutrient cycles also influence soil fertility and health. Decomposition of organic matter releases nutrients back into the soil, enriching it with essential elements for plant growth. This process helps maintain soil structure, moisture retention, and overall ecosystem resilience. Additionally, nutrient cycles contribute to the regulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. The carbon cycle, for example, plays a critical role in balancing carbon dioxide levels, which helps regulate Earth's climate. By sequestering carbon in plants and soils, nutrient cycles help mitigate the impacts of climate change. Furthermore, nutrient cycles support biodiversity by creating interconnected food webs and nutrient pathways. Each organism plays a unique role in cycling nutrients through the ecosystem, promoting species diversity and ecological stability. Overall, nutrient cycles are essential for the functioning of ecosystems, providing the foundation for life to thrive and ecosystems to remain healthy and resilient. In tropical rainforests, nutrient cycling is highly efficient due to the rapid decomposition of organic matter. Fallen leaves and plant debris are quickly broken down by fungi and bacteria, releasing nutrients back into the soil for plant uptake. In aquatic ecosystems such as coral reefs, nutrient cycling is tightly linked to symbiotic relationships. Corals rely on algae for photosynthesis, while algae benefit from coral waste nutrients. This mutual exchange supports the growth of both organisms and contributes to the overall health of the reef ecosystem. In grasslands, grazing animals play a vital role in nutrient cycling by recycling nutrients through their waste. Their dung enriches the soil with essential elements, promoting plant growth and ecosystem productivity. Nutrient cycles are the lifeblood of ecosystems, ensuring the availability of essential elements for plants, animals, and microorganisms. From the lush tropical rainforests to the vibrant coral reefs and expansive grasslands, nutrient cycling sustains the intricate web of life in diverse habitats. The efficiency of nutrient cycling in rainforests highlights the rapid turnover of organic matter, while the symbiotic relationships in coral reefs showcase the interconnectedness of species in nutrient exchange. Grazing animals in grasslands contribute to soil fertility through nutrient recycling, demonstrating the vital role of herbivores in ecosystem functioning. These examples underscore the importance of nutrient cycles in maintaining ecosystem health, biodiversity, and productivity. By understanding and preserving these cycles, we can safeguard the delicate balance of nature and ensure the sustainability of our planet's ecosystems.